Operations, do's and don'ts. Pick unrelated. Recently started playing this game, loving every minute. Have been playing solo, was wondering what the unwritten rules of operations are before I attempt to play online. Also wanted to share the picture. Okay, yeah, cool picture, definitely like it. Yes, operations do's and don'ts. So we've talked about a few of the things that are mentioned in this post, but I think it's going to be very useful to just put everything in one video, just as a quick guide, because you definitely know people are going to be returning to this game, especially for the experience. The new experience community event has been very useful. I've definitely been playing a lot of that. You can get a lot of experience in just average, and yeah, I've just been leveling up heavy on PC and sniper on console. And yeah, I already have sniper up to 20. It's pretty wild. But so yeah, while doing this, I actually been playing quite a bit of operations, and I've definitely seen some good and some bad. I definitely see some bad. You can definitely run into players who still don't understand, stim packs. You definitely see that thing. And yeah, you definitely see players dying from mortal wounds because of it. And it's pretty interesting. It's also kind of crazy that you see some people in these, like in average operations who do know what they're doing. And that is kind of a relief as well when you kind of come across players who are playing the lower difficulties, but they still understand the game. And yeah, you can just see them just trying to help out players. And I've definitely seen some higher levels in average and substantial. So yes, this is going to be a quick guide for pretty much everybody who wants to start running these operations and grinding them. This is going to be a good guide for how to get through these as quick as possible. Some I've seen experience don't intentionally steal executions. Check your brother's health and mortal wounds before picking up stims. Oh, okay. Quick note about this, actually. I have noticed people pinging stims quite a bit. Unfortunately, sometimes they have a mortal wound, and I think I've noticed everyone is just coming to terms with the fact that if someone pings out a stim, it's basically up for grabs, and like basically whoever rushes towards it can pick it up. You do see some people kind of wait on it because they notice somebody's at a lower health, but then you also see some players not pick it up at all and they stay at the lower health. It can definitely be it can definitely be a little bit random. So definitely wanted to point this out, that if you see someone ping a stim and you think you need it, just pick it up, because they likely don't need it. Anyone who's pinging a stim does not need it. Don't run off ahead and leave brothers alone fighting off ways. Yes, this is true. Between this and stealing executions, I've definitely have done this before, here or there, but I've definitely got a lot better with stealing executions. But honestly, when it comes to some of these waves, you can definitely accidentally steal executions. But as far as running off ahead, sometimes that's just the vanguard or the assault player just, getting out of control with their, basically their weapon skills, or, their gear skills, I guess, their grapple and jetpack. Don't throw grenades into crowds if a brother has already engaged in melee range. Okay, so here's the thing about this one, is the grenades will stagger your teammates if they are surrounded by, like a wave of enemies. But as long as you really just pay attention to what they are doing, you should still be able to aim your grenade in a way that's going to help them as well. Nobody wants to be surrounded by enemies, and when they are surrounded by enemies, if you do end up staggering all of the enemies, you are in a good spot there. So for the most part, it's not like you have to avoid throwing all of your grenades into crowds if your teammate is there. A lot of the times the grenades are specialized in a sense where you should actually find opportunities where your teammates aren't going to be there, just because, like, for example, you see a zone throw, just throw your crack grenade at a zone throw and you're good. You don't really have to worry about your teammate there. Shot grenades are a little bit different. Obviously, just be careful with your grenades is all it's really about. The better you play your grenades, the farther you can get in the operation. And I think what people really don't want you to do is, if you throw a grenade into a crowd and let's say your teammate's there, if your teammate was previously hit by like a bone sword, all that grenade is going to do is extend their stun and they can potentially just go down. So I definitely be careful throwing your grenades when your teammates are surrounded by crowds and they're capable of stunning them. Like even the zone throw, even a zone throw green orb from afar can definitely still stun your teammate. And yeah, if you throw a grenade at your teammate, you're gonna stun them. So just keep that in mind. Kindly evade out of my firing lanes. Yeah, definitely seen. Actually, this is interesting. I've seen this quite a bit recently of just people just walking in front of your, basically in front of your sniper. That is normally how this happens. Sniper, heavy, and tactical definitely get into this situation where someone is walking in front of them. And it's always the assault or the vanguard or the bulwark that is walking in front of them as well. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal as long as we don't have friendly fire. And I imagine if we did have friendly fire, it would be not great. Adding to this, don't throw frag grenades at bosses. They do no damage to them and stun lock your brothers while not stunning the boss. Oh, you know what? This is actually a fair point. If you definitely just have some, if you just have regular grenades and you see the mobs like walking in during like the Hive Tyrant boss fight, just throw your grenades at the mobs. I definitely agree with this. While not stunning the boss, yeah, it's very rare to stun that boss. Oh, or at least the Hive Tyrant. I mean, the Carnifex is kind of rare to stun him too, but sometimes you can just like run directly into like a wall. So I don't know if you can get the same stun effect with the Hive Tyrant. This gets your brothers killed because they cannot parry or dodge the next attack. Do throw shock grenades as they do slow bosses, but do nothing to your brothers. Okay, very, very good note. Yeah, definitely a good add. Edit autocorrect related typos. Okay. Aside from what others have said, also don't rush for a terminus execution if someone else did a whole lot more work killing it. Had that happen so many times, it's become an instant kick in my book. Oh wow, this is interesting. I didn't know people really kept really a track on who really executes the terminus. I feel like there's only one reason to keep track on who is executing the terminus. Instant kick for this is kind of wild. I think that could be a little excessive. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that one. That's interesting. But yeah, as someone comments underneath this post, there's only one reason you should pay attention to which class is executing the terminus. If you have a bulwark with invigorating icon, they can heal the entire squad off a terminus execution if they place their banner during the last, I don't know, 1/4 or 1/8 of the execution animation. You really start to notice when basically it's really tough because I remember we did a video of this before, and the only one that's kind of hard to line up is like the Carnifex and like the help route, because basically I think at the end of that there's like a big shaking animation. So basically just do your best to wait until the end of it. So yeah, like 1/4 to 1/8 of the execution. But regardless, a lot of people don't even know that you can drop your banner and heal the contested health for your teammates, which is kind of a wild mechanic now that you think about it, because it's like the executions are already so long, right? But it is a built-in mechanic that it heals the entire team's health. So it's kind of like, how are you going to have your contested health around for that long when you're fighting the terminus? Maybe it's just for trades, like at the end or something? No, this is actually a little bit puzzling. Not a lot of people know about this mechanic, but it definitely works a little bit weird. I'm not surprised people don't know about it now. In higher difficulties, don't waste ammo in the small groups of 2 to 5 minorists. Just melee them to save on ammo. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. For Sniper, I know I talk about this a lot. Sniper kind of has a rough time swinging into waves of gaunts with the combat knife, but you could just sit there and parry as well. Save crack grenades for almost exclusively extremist enemies. They are amazing versus them. Yes, I definitely agree with this as well. Tactical, save your scan for phase 2 on the Hive Tyrant. It's more dangerous. Oh wait, hold on. Can you get scan for both phases? I think he is right about this though. The phase 2 Hive Tyrant is definitely more dangerous. Should be killed faster during that phase. Vanguards on Lethal Plus get the 30% heal on Extremis. It is way better than the other options. At that level, you can potentially 3 to 5 health bars worth of HP for your team if the executions are used properly. Yes, I'm gonna have to agree with this. I have noticed people using this in lower difficulties, and I think it's just a little bit less useful in lower difficulties. I think Inner Fire definitely goes a farther way. But yeah, in Lethal Plus, definitely pick up, Unmatched Zeal. Never throw a grenade anywhere. Near an assault player, his weapons are slow and having to start again is fatal. Ooh, okay, yes. This is basically a more focused version of don't throw your grenades at teammates. Just don't throw your grenades at melee focused teammates, I guess. Don't throw your grenades at teammates at all, but definitely just keep track of what they are doing. Heavies, use your dang boots for minor swarms. They aren't worth the ammo, and when you are stomping, you are pretty much immune to them. All right, well, fair point, but counterpoint here. I do enjoy using the Melta, and the Melta feels very good against Gaunts. It's one of my favorite things to do is to just bring out the Melta and, yeah, use it to do a lot of fire burst damage to a bunch of Gaunts. It just feels very, very good. Snipers, try to get all the majors in a pack to execution status at range before you start finishing them off. Leaving those easy executions up there for melee is great. Yeah, this is definitely good advice. This is definitely good advice. There's some great stuff in this post. This is basically a tell-all guide on how to get farther in operations for pretty much every class has something good in this. But okay, definitely interesting. Snipers, heavies, use your boots more often, I guess. That is pretty interesting. Yes, the crack grenades on extremists is like basically one of the best things I can suggest.